In this lesson, we will learn about Azure Bastion host configurations. First, we will learn about the resources are created to support Azure Bastion host. Then we learn about Azure Bastion host features and configurations. After that, we will enable a shareable link and connect to the VM using the shareable link. Finally, we will conclude our lesson with the review questions. When we deploy a new Azure Bastion host in a VNet, it first deploys an Azure Bastion subnet, then it deploys the Azure Bastion host, and finally it deploys the public IP address. The Azure Bastion host has a built-in network security group which allows the incoming traffic from the internet to the Azure Bastion host on port 443, and the network security group only allows the outbound RDP and SSH traffic from the Bastion host to the Azure Bastion subnet. Here we are in the ITL-EUS-VNet01 virtual network that we have already deployed a Bastion host in the previous lesson. Now let's verify its configuration by clicking on the subnet. As you can see, it created the Azure Bastion subnet, and the Azure Bastion subnet has the size of /26 ranging from 0 to 63, and the starting address is 0. Now let's click on the connected devices. As you can see, the Bastion host is connected to the Azure Bastion subnet. Let's click on it to open. Now let's open the infrastructure resource group 01, and as you can see, it also created the public IP address. Now let's click on the public IP address to verify its configurations. To do that, we need to click on the configuration. As you can see, it is a static public IP address, and it is assigned with the public IP address 20.42.22.99. Now let's click on the infrastructure resource group 01 and click on the Bastion host to open. Now let's click on the sections to view the active sections currently connecting via this Bastion host. As you can see, there's two active sections because from my laptop, I'm connecting to the file server and the DC server via the Bastion host. Now let's click on the configuration. As you can see, Azure offers multiple tiers for the Bastion host. The first tier is developer, which allows secure RDP or SSH connectivity to one VM at a time and in only the local VNet. The basic tier enable dedicated RDP or SSH connectivity to multiple virtual machines in local and the peer VNets. The standard tier, which is the tier that we are in now, enable additional feature, expanded connectivity option, and host scaling for heavier workloads, which means we can increase the number of the VMs supporting the Bastion host with the standard tier. The premium tier enable advanced auditing, security monitoring to secure sensitive workloads end to end. Now let's scroll down. As you know, we are using the standard tier, which allows us to change the instance count. Currently, we are using 2 instances to support the Bastion host. If we want to connect to multiple VMs behind the Bastion host at the same time, we can increase the instance count. Now let's go through the list of different features that we can enable and disable with the Bastion host. The first feature is cross authentication. This allows users to log in to the VMs using their ID accounts, provided that the VMs have already joined to the domain. The next feature is copy and paste, which allows users to copy and paste between the VMs that they are connecting to and their local computers. And the native client support feature enables the user to connect to VMs using their local RDP or SSH client rather than through the Azure portal. And the IP-based connection features allows Bastion to connect to any reachable IP address, not just Azure VMs. And when we enable the shareable links, it will generate a secure URL that lets user connect to a VM via Bastion without needing Azure portal access. And the last feature is a section recording, which is not available in the standard tier, which allows to record graphical RDP or SSH sections initiated via Bastion. Now, let's enable the shareable link feature in our Bastion by check on this box, then click on Apply, and it's updating the Bastion. This process may take several minutes, and that's it, it's done. Now let's create a shareable link to connect to MAZ-PDC01. To do that, we need to click on shareable links, then click on the add button. Here we need to select the resource group that has MAZ-PDC01. Then in the resource we select MAZ-PDC01, then click on the apply button, and it's creating the Bastion shareable link. As you can see, the shareable link for MAZ-PDC01 have been created successfully. Now to connect to MAZ-PDC01 via the shareable link, we need to copy the shareable link and close this browser. And we open a new browser and paste the shareable link and hit enter. Now we need to enter the username that can log into MAZ-PDC01, which is ITL admin. Then we can type the password for the user ITL admin, then click on login. As you can see, we are in now. Let's verify the VM name by open command prompt. And after that, we type in the command hostname, then hit enter. As you can see, it is MAZ-PDC01. Now let's conclude our lesson with the review questions.